Hello and welcome back. We are continuing our videos on vacation and how it relates to weight loss in our series about weight loss journey, motivating things, and also not so motivating things and struggles that come along with it. So in the last video, I talked about the food aspect of weight loss and losing weight on vacation or staycations, things like that. And we're going to look into the methods that are out there that people use to maintain or even lose weight while on vacation, which is the ideal thing that you want to do. But a lot of times we want to just relax and enjoy the vacation. So in those cases, maintenance is going to be the best route. So we're going to start today with another type of vacation that involves a lot of activity and also involves a lot of food, unfortunately. And that is theme parks. Theme parks such as Disneyland, Universal, Disney World, Six Flags, all of those places include a lot of activity and a lot of walking. I know when I have gone to Disneyland a couple of times, there was a time where I tracked my steps, I tracked my mileage, and it came to over 8 miles in the day. And that was just shocking to me because I didn't realize how much I was walking when I was there. And it really does fly by. It's not the same as when you're working out at home or you're working out in a gym or you're just walking around the neighborhood. It's different because you're actively thinking about it and you're actively tracking the time and you're wondering when it's going to be over, when it's going to be done. And the time just kind of drags by. Whereas when you're at a theme park like this, your endorphins are up, you're excited, you're thinking about the rides, you're thinking where to go next, and for the most part, you're not really thinking about the walking. Of course, there is a point where you do start to feel it and you do start to get tired. And oh boy, by the end of the day, your feet hurt and you're exhausted and you just want to be done. But for the most part, the first couple of hours, you're just on cloud nine having a blast. But even with all of this activities that you have to be wary of, and it's all over, it's in vacations as well, it's any area you go, you'll see this, but it's the food and not just the dining, but specifically the treats they sell. There's like vendors and stuff and popcorn people and also people that sell giant churros and ice cream cones, and you don't even realize how many calories are in these food items. And for the most part, if they're not individually wrapped or anything like that, you don't know the calories at all. And the person at the cart is not going to tell you. Maybe you can ask them, but they probably don't even know. And they probably wouldn't tell you anyways. You don't know. It could be 800 calories, 500 calories, 800 calories, 1,000 calories for this one little snack, this one little treat. And think about it. Usually about an hour of walking equals about a 300 negative calorie burn, right? And imagine you do 2 hours walking leisurely and it's 600 calories, and then you get 1,000 calorie treat of some kind, or even an 800 calorie one or a 600. You're just wiped out all those calories that you just burned. And even though it's hours and hours of exercise, if you eat these super high calorie things, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And not only are they highly caloric, they're also extremely expensive. Sometimes it's like, I've seen the water bottles have been $5, $6, $7, $8. The same thing for the treats and stuff. They are almost $10. And for almost the same price, you could probably leave the park and get a full meal somewhere else, right? That's just legitimately crazy to me. And then on top of that, you're eating all your calories back and more and gaining weight instead of losing weight on this vacation that you're expending a lot of activity. So I just thought that was crazy. But I'm coming to my first point here on how to combat this, okay? And this is linked in to the theme parks and food and all of that stuff. It's that you've got to keep track of these calories, these high calories. And ideally, you should be practicing the 80-20 calorie rule. Now, I talked about that in the last video a little bit. I talked about 80-20, and there's the specific definition of that if you do a Google search, is that 80% you have to be, 80% of your weight loss journey, you've got to be on track and tracking your calories and at a deficit and doing well. Whereas 20% you can kind of indulge a little bit. And in the last video, I had tweaked the rule to eating with food and the plates, and you can listen to that. But I'm focusing mainly on the other one. So 20% you can indulge and have sweets and treats and stuff like that at the parks or wherever you are in your vacation or staycation. You can treat yourself, but it's so ideally important, so very, very important that you stay on track for the most part and, watch your deficit. And if you're going to indulge, I know it's a vacation and vacations are very, very expensive. And I have thought this way as well, that I'm spending all this money. I'm going to enjoy this food. I'm going to enjoy this park. I'm going to relax. I'm not going to exercise. I'm going to just eat and eat and eat. But you really got to question yourself. You got to follow the rules. And there's always a risk that you're just going to throw the rules out the window and quit and go back to yo-yo dieting. And this is why it's so important to follow some of these rules, even loosely. So if you're on vacation, you can loosen the reins a bit and be a little less strict, but you've got to follow through and you got to keep following them. And I don't take this advice myself. I have, like I said in every video, I am a yo-yo dieter, and I have quit and started many, many times before. So that's just the unfortunate part of it. So it's very important to stay on track as much as you can and don't rely on that activity at the park or wherever you are too much. Yes, it's hours of walking, let's say, but like I said, it's not going to cover these extravagant meals and snacks that are thousands of calories at the end of the day, right? So very important. Number 1, track, 80-20 rule. And number 2, use activity whenever possible and fit it in. It all adds up over the day. And I know this kind of clashes with the previous one because don't rely on the activity, right? But if you do have the opportunity to walk or exercise, do it, because there have been so many times I've gone on vacation and I had the opportunity to go somewhere or do something and I said, I don't feel like it. I just want to sit in the hotel and watch a movie, or just want to sit at home and watch a movie. And I just don't want to do anything. And that's just not the way to do it. So definitely get that activity in, but don't let it get to your head is, summing up those 2 points. Indulge in moderation, of course. Then number 3. Explore a new area. So this is going away from theme parks, really, but it does tie into it a little bit. So whenever you go on vacation to a new place, for me especially, I have used this one, and it's really a nice one. I love to use it. But when you go to a new area, it's nice to just get away from the hotel part of it, or Airbnb, or wherever you're staying, or your family's house, and just go out and see a new area that you're not used to. Because a lot of the time we're stuck in our own home, in our own neighborhood all the time, never going anywhere, and we're just used to the same boring sights. And that's why when we walk every day in the same neighborhood, we get bored as well. But this way you get out there and you see something new, and you go to a shopping center or a beach. Especially beaches are very beautiful, except when they're freezing cold. But if it's nice weather, you can walk along a beach. It actually burns way more calories to walk on the sand. So that's a perk, that's a benefit. And beaches, they have a lot of stuff to look at. You got the ocean and seagulls and people and boats, and then there's a lot of beaches that have stores on the side that you can walk by. And why I bring in stores and shops, especially malls in particular. My favorite is indoor malls, even though you can't see the city very much with an indoor mall, but it's still a new setting, a new place. But the benefit of indoor malls is that no matter what temperature it is outside or anything like that, you can still go in and walk around and you won't get sweaty. You won't have a risk of heat exhaustion or anything like that. Or you won't be freezing or wet in the rain, and you can just go in and you can walk around and you can see the stores. And that's the nice part, is you can walk by the stores, look inside, window shop, And it's similar to the theme park because you do the same thing at a theme park. You're walking around, you're excited, you're looking at things, you're looking at stores, you're looking at rides, you're looking at people. And it's the same thing here. You're looking at stores and you're looking at the clothes and you're looking at all sorts of things. And that's a kind of sad but motivating thing that I do is I'll be walking by these stores and I will see these mannequins wearing these outfits and I will be motivated. Like maybe someday I will fit in these clothes, or maybe it won't be the exact same size because usually the mannequins are like a size 0. Yeah, no way is that happening. And you just want to lose weight and look a certain way so that you look and feel good in these clothes. And this is something I do. I go past the stores and I look in them and I dream about, oh, that's a cute one. I like that one. Maybe this is just a me thing, but I really enjoy doing that and dreaming and planning and revamping my motivation because, motivation can decrease over time, and doing something like this and seeing these things can pump you up again in a way, especially if it's a new area and it's refreshing and just not the same old, same old. However, there is a risk to this, same risk as at the theme parks, same risk pretty much wherever there's stores and things like that, is that there are food courts, right? Walking by the food court, let me tell you, for me, it is absolute torture, especially if I'm working out. I did quotations there, sorry, but especially when I'm working out and walking and I know I can't have it, that I'm going to eat something healthy later. It's pretty much torture just walking by there because the smells are so strong and so good. And it's not good for you. You can tell just by the smell that it's fried food. But it activates, your brain. And it's not even hunger. A lot of the times I'm not even hungry because I've eaten something healthy. But it's just the mental want of that greasy, nasty food. And the worst part is it isn't even just the food court that does this, because walking by the food court, you're like, oh, good, I made it, I'm free. But no, sprinkled throughout the mall, there are random little snack stores like Wetzel's Pretzels or See's Candy and the cookie store. And oh my gosh, the smells that come out of these places are intoxicating. I mean, dang, it is just really difficult to go by them. But you got to have resolve. You got to follow the rules. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck or you're not going to be able to lose. And that's just how it is. So yes, explore a new place. Get that refreshing jolt, that new energy. Going into number 4, if you are staying in a hotel or, on staycation, going to the amenities like a local pool or something nearby your house, or in the hotel there's a pool, is so, so very important. Doing laps in the pool, and also just the gym. A lot of hotels do have their own little gym. Unfortunately, if you're on a staycation, you don't really have access to a gym unless you sign up to one. But I'll tell you, there are a lot of gyms that have 30-day free memberships. As far as the pool goes, especially if you're with family and there's kids, or they're your niece, nephew, your own kids, other kids, whatever, you get in the pool with them and you just hint that you want to play with them, 99% of the time they're going to play with you. And oh my gosh, I'll tell you, the most tiring thing I've ever done is play with my kids in the pool, because they like the chasing game, right? They like when you chase them. And that water, it gives resistance on your body, and it's tough when you're trying to run after them in the water. It's tough. And then you swim, and swimming's not much faster, and you're pulling all your weight around this pool as fast as you can go. And you don't feel sweat or anything, but you feel tired after a while, and it is very tiring. So maybe I will play with them, but a lot of the time I just want to relax, and I don't want to be stressed out, and I don't want to be pushing myself too hard. So I'll just do leisurely laps back and forth, and I use that time to just reflect and think about stuff and plan stuff for the future, or solve any problems I'm having, or just relax my mind and enjoy the moment. So unfortunately, last year I did not do that. As I talked about in my last video, I kind of just got lazy and did not follow any rules. And the rule is you just do it. You get in right away, because if you wait to do any exercise, if you think about it, if you second guess it, you're way more likely to just not do it at all and just sit on your tush and do nothing. Whereas you're like, okay, don't think, just get in the water. Boom, you're in the water. You can always get out again if you change your mind, but you're in the water, and then it's gonna get easier, and you're just gonna be doing it, and you're gonna be glad you did it. That's just how it is. It's the same with walking and exercising and running and going somewhere and doing something new, or for hiking, dancing, excursions, anything that's activity in the hotel area, right? So you can hike in a new area, you can go with a group. I, myself, refuse to hike alone, especially in a new area that I do not know. But you can join a group, or you can go dancing with your fiance, or your boyfriend, or your girlfriend, or your husband, or your wife, or just with your gal pals. If you're on a gal trip, go dancing, have fun, live your life. You don't have to do hardcore everything. You don't have to be up till 2 a.m., you don't have to be drinking heavy alcohol and shots. You can make it relaxing and be part of your vacation as well. And you don't have to be dancing the whole time. You can dance and then relax. And then maybe if you feel it again, you go dance again. And dancing burns so many calories. I went with my husband a little while back to a dance bar. I think it was in Palm Springs or something like that. And I was sweating after just one song. I was sweating, and wow, I was burning calories like crazy. It's just amazing. Also, take advantage of any excursions you have access to, walking tours, anything that's free for sure. Definitely take advantage and just get out there and experience everything in your area. And this is going pretty long. Oh my gosh. I always say 10 minutes and I end up rambling. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to end this video here. Just to conclude it, like I said, this is all about activity and experiencing your vacation to the max. Because when you think about it, going on vacation and just sitting around the whole time is not very fun, is it? I mean, maybe it is. A lot of people like to sit around. I definitely like to sit around, but when you look back on it in the future, you're like, I really did nothing that trip. So, at least one or two things just to help your weight stay stable, maintain, and maybe even go down. And that's where I'm going to end it. So happy goal getting, everybody. Do one baby step every day, every week. It all adds up. Slow and steady will win the race. Have a great day.